an influential American man of the law, dedicated his life to defend Muslims, spends most of his time in the court's corridors.
أن تخرج من ضيق الظلماء إلى النور، أن تولد ثانية والماضي مغفور، لحظة أن تشعر بالله في قلبك يقذف بهدى، هذا ما لا يدركه وصف وشعور. يا الله إني ناديتك وسعيت، إني استهديتك فهديت، بالقران أنرت طريقي. يا الله يا الله.
My name is James Eric Meek. I grew up in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Our family was all Christian. My grandfather, my grandparents, my aunts, uncles, everybody Christian. I grew up believing in Christianity, that Jesus was my Savior, and that I had a very powerful experience as a young kid. I was probably 7, 8 years old when I attended church one program. A visiting preacher came, and he was talking about hell from a Christian perspective. So he had a movie that he played for everyone there, and it was a Hollywood production of what it would look like or feel like to be in hell. So I took the whole next day to go visit every kid in the neighborhood, every one of them, and drag them to church. When I went to college and I had all the freedom in the world, I had money, nobody watching me, I thought that I would do anything that I wanted to do, and I did. And I would party, I would drink, I would do everything that looked fun. Well, I used that freedom to do the things I thought I had missed out on. I even lived with a drug dealer for a short period of time, right? So he would have marijuana or party drugs and at will. We became friends.
في هذه الفترة شيخ، فترة الجامعة، فترة الحرية، التخلص من قيود العائلة اللي كثير من الشباب يتمناها في هذه الفترة، هل كنت تشعر بالسعادة؟
I became so disappointed that everything that looked fun really wasn't. I had an epiphany or a calling that I'm not enjoying this. I thought I would, it sounds fun, but inside it was empty. And I was miserable. Over the period of the summer, I really became very serious that I know better. I felt better. I went back to church. I started reading the Bible. For my entertainment or for my satisfaction, I would drag all of my friends into a religious conversation. And one of the people that I meet my senior year, who we become friends, well, this person was a man named Hamid Eid.
شيخ وأنت صغير كنت داعية وتدعو الصغار إلى الكنيسة. كبرت شوي، أصبحت في الشباب. أريد أن أعرف في هذه الفترة ماذا كنت تعرف عن الإسلام في شبابك؟
Subhanallah. After growing up, I never heard anything about Islam until I got to college, and then we started hearing the words during the Iran hostage crisis or something going on overseas. Made no sense until I met Hamid Eid, and he told me what he believed. What's a Muslim? What's Islam? Is it a cult? Is it just a few people? Is it 10, 20? How many of you are there? So no idea about Islam and Muslims until I met Hamid Eid. The biggest influence that Hamid had on me was The first thing was his manners. He wasn't a practicing Muslim as far as the prayers and the fasting. That wasn't something that he was fulfilling. But he was 100% Muslim, 100% Arab from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and he had these manners that were very unique. So I decided that I wanted to invite my new friend to become a Christian. Because it was so close already, this would be easy. So the next day or the next time we started talking, he'd stop me and say, wait a minute. He had gone to the mosque or somewhere. I don't know where he was going. So he started bringing me all this comparative religious dialogue that have taken place. And a lot of the material started coming from ehtdeidat. When I started to study the history of the Bible so I could convince others that it was true, who may be skeptical. That was the first time I was introduced to the actual history of the Bible.
دراستك لتاريخ الأناجيل هزت إيمانك بالمسيحية. ما هو الشيء الذي لم تجد له إجابة؟
For me, I never questioned the authority until I wanted to prove to others. And as soon as I learned the authority of the Bible, it was not compelling. It was not persuasive. I turned my frustration towards my friend. And I asked him for the Quran, but I didn't want to read it. I didn't want to compare it. I wanted to destroy it. I wanted to see if it had the same problems that I had in Christianity. I was convinced that the authenticity of the Quran was different than the authenticity of the Bible. It didn't make one word in the Quran true, but it was authentic. It is what Muhammad said, peace be upon him. The Bible, I did not have that assurance.
إني ناديتك وسعيت إني استهديتك فهديت بالقران أنرت طريقي يا الله.
Then on this comparative religious dialogue I'm having with my Muslim friend, who's the easiest to convert to a Christian, I'm being introduced to things I never thought of. Never even crossed my mind. Muhammad in the Bible. Never heard Muhammad's name mentioned in my life about anything, good or bad. I couldn't find any verses where Jesus said, hey, I'm God, you better worship me. So then I started to question. And in the long run, I decided that I was the confused Muslim and he was not the confused Christian, and that Islam was everything I wanted Christianity to be.
من خلال رحلتك في البحث عن الإسلام، ما هي الآية التي كشفت لك الحقيقة وعرفتك على الله عز وجل؟
قل هو الله هو أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا